I'm Dylan from Pond, and we've been decentralizing this entire model development process with models that train on-chain data and also their relevant infrastructure. That's on a high level what we do. So a little bit background about what is an AI agent, since this entire thing today is about AI agent. So AI agent actually is not that complicated because you can just have some relatabilities like human beings like ourselves. So we are learning everything from the environment. This is kind of like the data, in this AI agent context. And later on, our brain is processing all the data. This is kind of the model, or models. Later on, based on those whatever we have learned in the past, and we make predictions to execute. So if I today work on the road, I feel like it might be unsafe. This is basically some experience I've learned in the past, and later on, I made predictions based on some of the learnings. And later on, I get some feedback from my behaviors and actions, and it goes back to the models or goes back to the data or the procession of the data. So that's on a high level what an AI agent is really about. So 3 parts mostly: data, model, action. Data is the environment, model is the processor, and action, they are the execution of those learnings, and later on, this can be a feedback looking back to the training process, and you can perceive things better, and that will affect your behaviors later on. So that's what an AI agent is really about. So agent innovation is from model and data innovation, because agent actually is an expression of models, like I described just now. When a execution layer have different actions gathered, and later on they will from different models, and outcomes of the models gather, and later on they will affect their actions, and later on. So for models serve as the interpretation of data, and later on those models and actions will guide the agent to make different decisions, and based on different conditions gathered from the models. So this entire process is data, model, agent / other AI applications. AI agent is pretty hot today, but this is one of the AI model applications, the biggest one so far. So if we ever want to discuss about the use cases of the agents or what the agents are really about, we need to chase all the way back to the data and the models that power those agents. So we have seen some of the crypto-native AI agents today in the space powered by Web 2 models and Web 2 data from language, image, video, etc. And what about on-chain data? So we have gradually entered an area that as long as there's a type of data, there's a corresponding model to retrieve the value from this type of data, and later on, based on those models, you can have different actions. So on-chain data actually is a type of graph data. So what is graph data? It's another one. So graph data is as long as there's a type of data that can be represented by nodes and edges, like our wallets, the smart contracts on-chain, they are nodes, and the edges are pretty much just interactions in between, like buying, selling, transfer. Those are type of interactions between different nodes. So this entire thing is a dynamic graph. This is a real-time on-chain behavior. So you can see different wallets are making transactions between different wallets or different contracts, etc. So this is the data of the on-chain data. This type of data is called graph data. So some of the example use cases, and apparently Uniswap is exploring some of the use cases in DeFi, like they are about to launch Hook. So what Hook is really about is dynamic fee structure. So pretty much everything we are dealing with liquidity pool these days, they have a static and fixed structure. And lots of liquidity providers actually, they're not making money based on your swap on Uniswap. And they are adjusting the fee structure dynamically based on the prediction of the volatility or the volume to these liquidity pools. And the gas fee prediction apparently is another one of them. So we have so many use cases that are waiting to explore with on-chain data, like the trading. Apparently that's one of them. So imagine if there's a token contract, and we have different properties of different wallets are actually based on some of the behaviors on-chain real time. We can make predictions. What are the predicted behaviors of different wallet clusters that are going to interact with these tokens based on previous behaviors? So this is one part of the thing you can do with on-chain data. And AI-powered DeFi, like the Uniswap Hook case. Security, like today you have a wallet that has zero balance, and the age of the wallet is kind of new. It has only been open for a couple of days. And all in a sudden, a lot of wallets, normal general wallets, they start transferring the fixed amount of tokens for whatever the reason. What is the reason behind it? It might mean that they can be a potential phishing wallet. Several detection, recommendation, social, they are all related to this graph. So every crypto native use cases can be found on-chain data. So what it takes for us to develop crypto native models with on-chain data. So this is the Web 2. We have scale to process data, to structure the data for model projects like OpenAI, DeepSeek, whatever. And later on, for those model projects, you can develop different agents, like OpenAI recently launched an operator. But in crypto, unlikely and unfortunately, we don't have such a machine learning ready and capable data service provider, not mentioned in real time. It requires a lot of efforts. So we have to do the data infrastructure or the data processing and structuring by ourselves. And we are empowering this entire developer community to develop different models based on this on-chain data. And later on, we can also help them to develop different AI applications or different AI agents. So that's what it takes on a different infrastructure level of developing crypto native models. So let's start from the data. So we've been structuring data by ourselves, and we've been labeling different wallets by ourselves and different contracts by ourselves as well. We even train models to label wallets to characterize them based on their behaviors. Like, you previously learned what is the properties of different wallets, and later on, what the behaviors are gonna what look like before, and later on, they result in what? What is the behavioral pattern of MEV? What is the behavioral pattern of smart money, KOL, and VC? Sorry, but yeah. So we are. This is the current labels that we have. So we are missing some of the parts like smart money and KOL snipers, but it's gonna be pretty soon that we can hit 1 million or 2 million labels for these categories, because the models are in place already. We have validated the model, so it's gonna be fairly soon. So that's on the data side. Remember the order I mentioned for developing the models or developing an agent, that you have data, model, agent, right? So now we are moving to the model part. So model is really about the model development and inferencing by providing required data. So we have launched a competition-style platform. The reason why we are doing this competition style of the platform, one of the biggest reasons is because model business probably is the very few business you don't really care about the quantity. You really care about the quality. You cannot say, we have one car, 10 cars that can run maybe 50 miles per hour can outperform one car that can run 100 miles per hour. So we are doing this because on one hand, in Web 2, you cannot give developers the ownership of the model, also give them any commercialization in the future, because developers don't own the data. It's whoever proposed something, machine learning models or whatever the use cases are, they own the data, because all the data in Web 2, they are probably owned. But in Web 3, the on-chain data is probably owned by everyone. The time when you submit a model, you create a model, actually you still own the model by integrating with the data stream. So that's what we've been doing. And apparently Vitalik is a one part of the plan. So he has launched a competition on our platform before. And also another difficulties of developing models in this space, it has nothing to do with decentralization, but it's really about what is the machine learning model development guidelines. So what the use cases are, what the verticals are, and how you can achieve that. So it requires a substantial amount of R&D and discussion with the community. So later on we can reach the consensus. If someone ever gonna be the top place, arguably that can be the best models in the market, or even the top 5, because different models, they have different metrics. Basically, it will affect their performance. And also the inference. Later on, I think some of the people, they are doing inference, so I probably don't need to mention too much. So I want to quote Dimitri at the back. So Dimitri, I think one of the best questions ever asked, and has been asking us and challenging us for quite a long time. And by the way, this is the investor you want to have, because it's very important for you to learn and to gather the feedback, because they are also a part of the market and they are very experienced. They have seen so many things. So Dimitri has asked a question: what are the use cases? Because, like I said before, AI agent is the application of AI models, right? So application is really about the use cases, and so we, for now, in our case, we do believe the complex AI agent is multimodal and also collaborative, which means that I need to combine the off-chain data with the on-chain data. So the off-chain data is helping users who understand what's going on. And the Web3 data is for supporting crypto-native use cases. So this is a quick demo of what we have so far on the model orchestration side. So there are different models. I think there are 3 types of model, 8 different models in different categories, and they are orchestrating with each other. So for example, if today I want to do something related to trading, since the founder of Clunker is here as well, so let's try Clunker. So what is the prediction of? And later on, it will find the best possible models, and even the retail users can, customize this entire workflow, and all the different models later on, they will be developed by the community through this competition style of the platform. So it gives a result. So when our prediction based on different four types of model there, it will have the result like XYZ, and potential causes based on different orchestration from other types of model like serial detection, security models, etc. So different models, they are orchestrating each other because at the end of the day, they are on the same graph network. They share the same data. So yeah, so what it can be done in the future, for example, by the way, this is serial model and security model. So retail user, they can create workflow. Developers from Decentralized, the model competition platform, they can develop different models. Different models will be deployed onto this sort of like a workshop, and later on, retail user create a different flow. They will power different products. So we plan to just imagine if you ever have a extension on that screener. Let me show you this. Might take a while to. It's just another demo. So imagine you have an extension on that screener or on any other places. Sorry. Oh. Yeah. So imagine you have an extension on that screener or GMGN or no matter what platforms you are using, like CoinMarketCap. It gives you the reasoning why this token price drops or increase based on the on-chain behavior. So you sort of like have a investment assistant in some ways. And later on, not to mention, you can choose your own workflow from different models and orchestrating with each other. And it will help the entire market to make better decisions in their own, and also further incentivize the developers to create different models in different use cases. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything on my end. Just imagine we can have different models generating different workflows, and later on give you different outputs from this extension you can use, or even you can integrate it with different wallets. Yeah, that's pretty much it.